thankfully this guard is nowhere near as bad as the other one. But, if I haven't said that, doesn't mean I'm still gonna have to remove this frame because it's all rusty under here, under there, rusty under there, all that, and up here. This is all gone. So I'm gonna have to get this apart, get all this off. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to take it back to the skin, but it's nowhere near as bad. This is, right along here is really nice. All the way down to here is good. And realistically, this is good too. So I may just have to fix that. Got a look at that. Down here, this is gonna have to have a piece put in here. And, you know, go over all the rest of it. On this new second guard now, like I said before, just because it doesn't look as bad doesn't mean it's not going to be a pain. See that there? That's the remains of a badge. It's not there. That's been filled over. Doesn't look too bad, but I can't fix under there with that in the way. This is all bent here. There's a door's jammed into it somehow. Unless the guard's been pushed back, and I don't think so. I'd say that for some reason the door's gone in, unless someone's levered it down. That's more than likely trying to adjust stuff. It looks like it's factory through here and down there. But this has been taken off. This thing, they're not spot welds, they're plug welds. Now, I'm going to have to think of what I'm going to do. I'd like to get that out of the way, but good luck with that. God knows where those welds are. That's been welded over. You know, you're not going to get that off. Bloody hell. Now, I have to think about how the best way to fix this. You can see up in here where it's been plug welded. It makes it really hard to get that off, eh? It's not impossible, but I'm going to give it a crack. I'm probably just going to cut it through there. Unless I can drill them out, but it's freaking hard. I'd like to get this out of the way. For some reason, this has been taken off. Like up in here, and where else? In there, there's a plug weld, down in there. Like, it's almost impossible to get them out when you know, how are you going to find that? It's like there's two actually. There's another one there and there's one there. Oh man, it makes it a lot harder. There's probably the same thing down here, just plug welded there. They've just done what I did. For some reason they've had to pull that out. But all through here, it looks original. Like, it's a bit hard to make them out, but the original spot welds are there. You can see them down there. There's some in here. It looks fairly original down the back, so I can get that off through here, but up here, it's going to get messy. I'll just have to think about it. Burn all this out and see what's going on here. See if I can actually find these bloody plug welds. They're a lot harder to drill out than a normal spot weld. Anyway, I'm going to burn this paint and crap off here, bog, and see how it looks. Oh, here's where I'm at. That's all loose down there. I basically had to cut that out because I can't find where it's all at. But this come off all right, that bit. Now I've drilled these out. Obviously I've got this front bit off, it's over there on the floor, which had been removed before. It makes it way harder to get it off. Anyway, that's done. I've drilled all these out, obviously. This is the next day. But I was thinking last night, I may not take that off. I might leave that on. I'll just remove this bit and this bit here. I'll see. I'll see. Because chances of getting that out without warping this guard is very hard. I'm going to have to, obviously just make the holes bigger. But I can just take this bit off here, through here. So I'm thinking of just taking that off, because that's where the main rust is here. and up the front there. It's pretty clean along here. Anyway, we'll see. I'll give it some thought right now. This thing off. Came off pretty easy, but there's a hidden spot weld there. If anyone's ever pulling one off, there it is there. Just goes above where that, there's a bolt goes in there. This isn't too bad, but this will be getting replaced, this bottom section, pretty much similar to the other side. That's getting filled in. I'm going to leave this on. I'm just going to cut this down here and across. Not that, on the outside, and leave that bit. This is getting cut straight through there. That'll get replaced, all that crap. And that's it. The front of it, none of this really needs to be changed like the other one was all stuffed. That's all staying. Probably make a bit here. And I also took this bracket thing off. Where is it here? Got to make another one of them for the other side. Anyway, I'm going to do this next and then get that prepped, and then I'm going to paint strip. What I have to do to this guard is make patterns. I've made all the patterns off this guard and I've still got them. So they'll be getting used. That'll save me at least a day. There's all these bits here. These bits will probably blast up fairly good and just need some spot repairing. All this bit. And same with this. It's nowhere near as bad as the other one. All that was gone in it. I had to wreck it a bit to get it off, but been pulled off before. You know, never throw nothing out when you're working on stuff like this. It's all completely finished. Got to remake that, front of the guard. That's part of the bottom of the guard. That bit's got to be remade. There's nothing wrong with that. And this here, yeah, probably just put a patch in here. The rest of it's not bad. A little bit over there. All this isn't too bad. There's probably a few spot bits. Make that front. Put a bottom on it, on this, like the other side. Probably not as high. It'll probably just come in up around here somewhere. Whatever. And this bit. Fill in that. And what I'm going to do right now is paint strip it, because I'll flip it over. I'm going to paint strip it because that tells you what's really wrong with it. When you get all the crap off it, you've just got it in bare steel. Plus, it makes it easier to work on when you've got nothing there, just steel. See this business here coming along? It's probably rust. The rest of it looks okay. Well, I know that's filled. So I'll take a picture of those bloody measurements. These things here, just so I know. But I can go off the other guard. But I'll still take a picture of it. Well, I took that thing off there, that bracket. It's one of the reasons, because there's a dent there and makes it easier to get at it. Right, enough talk, got to get this thing done. It works pretty quick, that stuff. And it's getting it off. Looks like I'm going to need more through here. I don't know what's going on there. Sometimes you put a few cuts in it with the scraper. I prefer to try and avoid it if I can, but it looks like I'm going to have to. Anyway, I'll scrape that first go. That's all bog. Pretty much all bog, that. Anyway, get it off. Second go. It does lift bog off. It definitely makes it easier to scrape it off, but once this goes done, the rest I'll sand off outside. And it's way less dust. Like, look at all that crap there. That's just the first go. It doesn't look like much, but that's half of it. Anyway, I'll scrape that off shortly. Just leave it a bit longer. If you bog over surface rust, it's only a matter of time before it all bubbles like it was bubbling before. And that's why I like to get it all off. You spend thousands on a paint job and that's under it? Nah, that's not how you do it. All right, I'll scrape this crap now. Saturday, Harvey, I've got to go somewhere now, but one more coat, all that'll be off. But I'm just going to sand that off. I'll do that tomorrow. Anyway, that's enough for today. At least I've got a plan moving forward with it. I'm glad I decided not to take that inner bit out, just fix the ends, because it doesn't need it. Well, that's the difference between this guard and the other guard. This one's been in a smash. That's all been fixed through here. There, up here, it's had bog all the way down. all the way through here. I'm going to knock that out a bit now. I'm not going to bother getting that because that's getting cut off. Anyway, that's what I mean. It might look better, but it doesn't mean it is. Finally got all the paint off it. I'd say this has been pushed back into the door, like this was all bent back here, and this is all damaged, and that's why it's had the inner light bucket cut out, because this is all bent. So, whatever. I don't know if these holes are supposed to be here. I don't think they are, but I'm not sure. I might fill them in. You can always re-drill them. You know, I'm going to paint that acid on this, and there's that stuff painted inside and out. Yeah, it's all right, this guard. It's, like I said, it's been smashed here. It's all been wrinkled all over the whole thing. So, what are you going to do? It's bloody, 60-something years old. Anyway, that's enough for today. Sunday, it's like 2 o'clock. I must admit, that stuff, it does do a good job, that bloody acid stuff. It's bloody good. Anyway, that was all rust. I rang the sandblaster today because I wanted to take it up, get them blasted. And yeah, you bring them up. If you bring them up this morning, I'll have them done by Monday. It's Monday today, mate. Not next Monday. I want them done now. It's a 20-minute job. I've already taken all the crap off it. Forget it, I'll do it myself. I'm going to prep all that next, get that ready. Like this guard was worse, I've done that, and I'm going to just sandblast it myself. It's getting a little bit of rust there, but I'm going to paint more of that crap on there. That's got to be all sanded back before I do anything anyway. But I will paint a bit more of that stuff on there later today. Anyway, today I want to get these prepped up to this stage. Take it up there and it'll be ready on Monday. It's freaking Monday morning. Some of this, I've cut that out there. I've cut that out there. Just filled in there with weld. I'll put a little patch there. I'm just about to whack a patch here. And just about done. There's a few bits here. I might just fill that with weld. And this panel will be, I've got to do, fill those in, that, and that's pretty much done, that bit. Those two bits on the floor are all repaired. Just put more acid on it. Tomorrow I'm going to start fixing this. Might do up here first. Might do this first. Those holes, I'll just re-weld them because I'm not taking that off. Just got to put a little patch in here. Refix the front of this frame and patch here. And patch here. And whatever there. And new bottom. Anyway, that's it for today. I've had enough. Next day, I've got to get this bit here done now. It's all prepped up. All that shit wipes off. That's just bubbles from the acid. This is actually pretty damn good. So I'm gonna fix this rust. I'll probably cut that out there somewhere. I'll try and keep it a bit lower than that. Got a little bit more sandblasting, I'd say. But that's normal. We'll see. There's a bit there. I'm going to do this bit first. I might get away with just a spot of weld there. That's all been sandblasted all through here. But I've got to do the inner frame and then the outer skin. And that repair there is quite easy. I've got to cut another one of these slots. It takes a little bit of time to file it out neat. There's one up here somewhere. Re-weld those. My aim is to have this all welded by tomorrow afternoon, but if not Friday, so we'll see. I really want to finish these next week. I'm going to start by making this inner piece for the thing over there. And I've already got this bit cut from, that's the pattern I use, so I'm just going to use that. So that's already made that bit, but I'm just going to take some measurements of this. So I don't actually have a pattern of that, and I don't know what happened to it. Anyway, there's my pattern. I just measured it out and went over it with that. I've got to cut that slot out of there. A little bit tricky, you just do it with a file. Drill and then file. Anyway, so mark that out on the steel and then cut it out. Cut out, I just need to go over it with the bloody flapper and a file. That's what I used to cut them out. These are the Milwaukee ones. They're pretty bloody sharp, actually. I normally used to use Wes, but I like that twisted, the bit with the turn. You can get in better. They just leave little teeth marks, but hardly anything. They're super sharp. You can cut paper with those. Here's my patch. It goes up in under here. I'm going to flip it up and weld it, and dress it up a bit, and then put the other bit I've already made, that bit over there. There's that bit done. That's the inner frame. I'm just going to flick some etch primer on this. You do see that bit. I forgot about that, but I'll just dress that up a bit better later. It turned out quite good. It saves me pulling that all out. The rest of this is fine. I'm going to make this next patch. First I'm just going to put a little bit of this crap here and here. Get that other patch done. See what happens, I'm not sure. I'll probably fill these welds back in, and then the next day or whatever I'll do the rest of it. Yeah, they're cleaned up fine. That'll look good. Let's put some rock garden shit over that, you'll never tell. Yeah, that's fine. I've got this little bit here. I've primed the bit inside now. I'm going to put that there. That just needs a little strip going up here to make it 15 mil longer. So I'm just going to weld that strip in there rather than remake this whole thing. Anyway, I'll fill those in today. Plus, I've got to do that too, I just remembered. And I'll flip it over. The patch in there that needs grinding and dressing up. There's the other side of that. This is done. This is all done. This is all done. That's all done there. I've just got to bloody grind it up. I've welded these bloody things back up, that I didn't have to do, but at least I only did that. I didn't do in here. Still saves a hell of a lot of time. So what I've got left to do is that. And what's those holes there for? Oh, that's where those things, that's where that bracket goes there, not there. That was just a rust hole. Right, so I've got to fix that. I'm going to weld these, rest of these, I did one, I'm going to weld these other 3 holes up. I don't know why they're there. Fix this crap. And that's about it. It's getting there. And then just got to put it back together, grind it all up, and fill it up, bog it. Get to that stage, same stage as that, and then just do the fill work. She'll be right. It's getting there. Tomorrow in the morning I'll grind all that up and then see what I do next. I might do this bit or I'll do that bit, I don't know. I'll decide tomorrow. That's enough. There's that all repaired. I've just ground it up. That'll get a skim of bog through here. Little skim there. That's all done. That's done. I've welded up these bloody holes we don't want here. So that's just a pinhole there. I'll probably fill that with weld. I think I'll make the bottom of this guard now and get that done. All right, so I've got that. It saves me a lot of time. It's accurate. I'm going to cut that off there because I'm actually going to keep these edges. They're fine. They just need a little bit more sandblasting. Even this edge here is okay. That's just a little bit of a blowout from a spot weld. So, yeah, I'm going to keep those edges. So I'll trim it down here somewhere, down here, cut it through here. And that's it, pretty much. I'll probably cut it up similar to where I did the other one. Little trick I do every time I use these, get some thinners on a rag and I clean the end of that, then blow it out. They work every time. Sprayed around that with black paint. Saves a little bit of time, sort of. I've cut that out, I've made this bloody thing. I'm going to butt weld that in there right now. There's that tacked in, it's pretty neat. I'm just going to go around and continuously weld it and get it ground down. And then that bit's done. I found that little bit there, I'll put a bit in there. There's a hole over here somewhere too. There, you can see a little hole there. Grab this thing and make it bigger. Such good steel, this boat. I'll weld that from the back. Anyway, get this weld new bottom done. Just whacked more of that acid on it after overnight. There's a little bit here. that. Obviously I've done over here. I've filled that, it's just got some acid on it. There was a little spot here needed doing. That's it, that's enough for today. I'm gonna weld that frame back in there tomorrow, and that'll pick this bit here. It's just a bit of a blowout from a spot weld. I'll just build that up with weld anyway. But I'll weld that in tomorrow, should be. But what I'll do, make sure I get this done. I'm not sure how much of that I'm going to replace, and there's some here in the front, so we'll see. Realistically, you could probably just get away with putting a bit in here and a bit there. So we'll see what it's like. That's enough for now. All up, that took me 4 hours to do that. And whatever else I was doing this morning. That's plus doing these other bits, filling that. What is it? No, that's right, I was doing all this grinding. I ground all this up this morning. That took an hour. So realistically, that took me probably about 2.5 hours. Something like that. It's the next day. That's not too bad, just needs a bit of planishing around. It's quite good through there. Actually, it's a little bit full there. See what happens. I may do a hot shrink on that. The rest of it's good. Through here was all damaged. Pretty much, I don't know. I'll probably skim the whole thing. We'll see. Definitely needs work here. A few spots here, there, but it looks like that rust stuff's killed everything. But what I've got to do, I'll flip it over. I've got to work here and here. That's all that's left. As far as the welding, rust holes. I've got to obviously put the frame and crap back inside it. It looks all fine, this. Yeah. I just need to go over with the wire brush a little bit more. I'll probably give that stuff one more crack, that acid stuff. But I'm gonna clean all this up now, grind all this up and see how it looks. There's hardly any there, that's not much at all. Like I said, I'm just gonna clean this up right now and see how much of this I've got to cut out. Here's one of the last patches to go in here. I've filed it up, it fits in pretty good. It's good to leave a little gap when you MIG weld shit like that. You can't actually truly butt weld it. I'm going to weld that in. All this is done. All that crap's done now. So all I've got to do is weld in a frame, the headlight bucket and the back of the guard frame in, and all the welding's completed, finally. The last bit of paint off that, and I've just whacked another coat of acid on everything. But tomorrow I'm going to paint all in here with the primer and wherever, and then same as in the garden, and weld it all together, and then that thing get fully sanded back down, in and out. Another coat of that acid shit, and then it'll get sanded down once more on the outside, and that'll be finished for the inside. It'll get coat filler, and then primed, and then out. I'm done. Weld all this frame back in. I've just put this rust paint shit down there where you can't get at it. But I'm also going to flood this with fish oil. I've already said that. We use that a lot here in Australia. Deodorised fish oil. So once I've fully primed these guards and they're bog primed, it will get flooded with fish oil. When that dries, I'll put the body shorts in here. What you call rock coat overseas. Yeah, she's all back together. Everything seems to line up pretty good. I've got it all on the same measurements with each other. And that's off the original measurements of this guard, so all that went back in good. It wasn't bent, it just had a bottom put on it, that's it. This bit over here, just a little patch, couple of patches down the bottom, but the top bit's been changed. Like, all this is new. Basically from there to, where was it? Here is retained, right? That was okay. But this has all been fixed, the whole thing. It's bloody like a new guard. Anyway, all the welding is done. Both of these guards are at the same stage, they just need to be bogged. And like, I've got all these things here, and they all line up pretty bloody good. Like all that. So I'm pretty confident that's going to fit the door. And this other thing here is the bonnet. Where is it? Hang on a minute, what's going on there? Yeah, it's probably going, is it? No, that's not it. False alarm, that wasn't it. This is it here. So there's that one. This is the other guard. Actually, I got that back up. This is the guard I just did here. They both fit. That's, you know, that's why you got to have these bloody template things when you haven't got the car here. Anyway, they're all done, ready for bulk. I'm bloody pretty happy with that. What do we have? Well over 130 hours. It's like 130. I'll add it up. Anyway, that's it for today. Sunday morning here. What I'm going to do today is prep the inside of these guards. This thing here, I think that was smashed, right? This guard's been smashed. That's been removed twice. And it was slightly in the wrong spot, I feel. And it had 4 holes drilled here. So I feel that I don't know this for sure. I'm just surmising that the headlight surround was held in with these 4 screws. So I've measured off that one, what hasn't been smashed, and it's putting pretty much exactly the same spot as that one. So I feel that it'll be fine. If not, I can always make different brackets. I've also gone over every little screw. There's 3 different sizes, bolt hole, whatever they are, and re-tapped them on all of them. So they're ready to go. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to start on that one, is sand all the inside of that, and I'm just going to brush that rust paint on the inside, all that, get that prepped inside. I found a bloody crack here. Like outside I've seen some light through them. What the friggin' hell's that? It was just a crack, so I've just welded it up. I just missed it. You get that when you're doing stuff like this, you find shit as you know. I'm glad I found it now, not later. Anyway, I'm going to brush this stuff on the inside, and that's it. That inside of that guard's ready to have body shot sprayed in there, and that'll be getting painted black. And yeah, I'll do the same. The other one's half done. There's one guard done, ready to go. I've just flicked Etch Primer here because that's getting painted in 2-pack primer. This and in here. So you see this part when you look in the car. So this will be getting prepped almost like the outside, from like this part all the way in there, down. That's it. You don't see any of the rest of it. Inner guard hides it. Not that it needs hiding or anything, but my bloody Schutz gun, and what I also use for spraying fish oil, bloody thing won't work. Anyway, I've got a new one coming, so I'm going to fish oil all that up in all these cracks, up in through here, up in all that, everywhere. And then it'll get the bloody rock guard, whatever you call it. This one down here's done as well. Been a big job. It's been a massive job, this. Absolutely massive. That's wet. I didn't think it would take that much, but whatever. It's done. That's the main. Well, it's getting there. Now I've got to do the outside. I'm going to have to sand that down with 24 and a disc sander, the whole thing. And then I'm going to give it a coat of bulk, and that's it. Just for anyone that's interested, to get these 2 cars at this stage, 138 hours. I haven't written down everything. I've made 1 or 2 mistakes. I never charge for that. And that would be at least another 4 hours maybe. And you know, I've gone to get stuff, I've done this and that, whatever, and I don't always write it exact. 138 hours I've got written down. About 108 is on this guard right here. 108. It was half it was missing. And the other one I got about 30 hours in it, which is a normal probably job for a guard. Anyway, I've probably got another, just thinking, I've probably got another 8 hours and I'll be done. All right, what is it, Tuesday? I didn't work yesterday, I had a day off. Since I've started working on these, it's a couple of months ago. I've only had four full days off, but I actually mowed. So I still did something. But they look pretty good actually inside. You know, really good when they got the shorts braided in there. But what I'm going to do right now is do the bog work. I'm not going to film much of that. I'll just film a couple of stages. That's it. It's just bog work. Right, I'm going to sand this outside. I'm going to do the sanding the bog outside too. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to go over both guards with this, with 24 grit. We'll probably use 2 or 3 of those. But there's no paint on it. It's just a bit of that, whatever that is. It's just a bit of etch primer, but yeah. First I'll go over it with the hammer and dolly and what you call dress it up, just knock down any highs. And then I'll hit it with a sander. I'll just film it in a couple of stages. This is guard's 100% prepped. It's ready to go. There's not a speck of rust on it anywhere. I've blocked off some holes where I don't want any stuff to go. I'm going to get the other one up to this stage and then put the bog on them. They're pretty big panels. This is going to take a bit. Get them done neat so you can't tell. It takes a while. Both of these guards have been 100% sanded down. There's not a spot of rust anywhere. They're pretty damn clean now. I've gone over with that stuff with the 24 grit. Then I've hit it with 36 with the orbital sander. I've got a rough bit of stuff here. Just while it's still a bit cheesy, I'm going to go over it with a couple of these and just knock down some of the higher bits, ready for the next section. They've all got a skim coat of bog on them now. What gets sanded off, and there'll be more getting put on in a couple of spots, but it's 2:30 now. I started doing that. What time did I start? I actually started working on the guards at 10:30. So there's 4 solid hours just prepping it all and getting the bog on. All this crap takes time. You can't do it fast. There's no way. Not if you want it to last. Okay, I'm going to start sanding these down. I've just got the first one, the left one out. See how it goes. I've already got 4 hours in both guards. I'm just going to do them both at the same time. Another 4 hours. The big panels and a lot of this you got to do by hand. You can't. I don't have a machine to get in there. And they're just up and around here, all that. It's just difficult. Hey, we're getting close now. I'm just going over a few little bits and pieces. I'm starting to use that 2-pack bog now. But I can't work on this tomorrow because I'm going away. But they're close. They're very close and they're very good too. That's obviously the right hand one. I've just dusted some etch primer on that because I'm working on it tomorrow. Other one's over here, in the back here. Just leaving it there. Very, very close. Just need some fine detail and they're getting primed up. These are the main things I've been using. This, and those 2, this soft thing. Plus I've used the Orbi and that, but it's mainly doing it by hand. You just got to do that shit by hand. Anyway, that's enough for today. That's got them puttied up. They actually looking pretty damn good. Can't really tell on a video, but trust me, they're good. They're very good. Nice and straight, as they should be. Right. That guard there, all that top shit's new. From here, all the way along is new. That was the hardest part of the entire thing. Just getting that right and accurate so it fits on the car, that's no joke. Anyway, there's 2 guards done. I'm just going to flick a guide coat on them now and clean up. They're finished. I've just fish oiled them and sprayed body shorts all inside. You may want some paint black on the inside, so I'll flick some black on them tomorrow. That's the last one. I didn't got the video of the other one, but it's been sprayed with fish oil up in all the seams. It's all leaked everywhere, and it's going to last years, this thing. I've just sprayed body shorts on there. I did that yesterday, actually, and I've just sprayed this black. So I'll take that off and they're all completely done. Both completely done. And they've come out as good as I can do them. You know, that's not exactly the same, this bit, but you don't see that. It's good enough as far as I'm concerned. That hole's got to be made bigger. They've got to be blocked down. re-primed and then painted. That's it. They're ready to go in the car. I'm pretty happy with how they've turned out, actually. Anyway, I'll see if I can make a video that's worth looking at. Thank you. See, the next part I'll be working on this car will be the bonnet. And more likely the boot lid. And then it'll be the doors, and then it'll be the rest of it. Thanks for that.